Those who have joined the class, please give your attendance in the chat box. Write your class roll numbers. I will wait for 2 more minutes and class will be started at 1:03 p.m. Okay, the time is now 1:03 p.m. Let us start the class. Let me present my screen first. Can anyone say whether my screen is visible or not?
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Okay. Can you see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So let us start the class. In the last class, I was discussing one problem. I have taken this problem, that is the problem of axial rod, and in this axial rod, load P has been applied along x direction. Then by FEM, how to solve these problems. So, in continuation with that problem, let me give you a brief summary so that it will be easy for you to understand. What I did was that firstly, I divided the entire geometry into three elements. You can divide it into more elements. More number of elements you will divide your entire problem, more accuracy level of solution you will get. Fine. Then what we did, we have taken one element, any one element we have taken, and then we have analyzed this element. That means for this element I have written the tensile strain equation, I have written the tensile stress equation. Means these tensile stress and tensile strain will be valid for the J node of this element. Why? Because on the J node tensile force is acting. Similarly, I have to calculate the compressive strain as well as compressive stress, but both these compressive strain and compressive stress will be applicable for this element at the ith node. Why it will be compressive? Because this node is experiencing compressive force, so the strain will be compressive in nature and the stress will be compressive in nature. So we found out the value of epsilon c as well as sigma c also. Now, since we got the value of sigma c, we also calculated what is the value of the nodal force Fi acting at node I and the nodal force Fj acting at node J. That is nothing but this equation. This Fj is E into A, Uj minus Uy by H, and Fa, it will be in negative direction. Why? Because the force is acting along minus x direction and it is given by minus Fi E into A Uy minus Uj by H. Then in order to keep the body in equilibrium, I can write that minus Fi plus Fj is equal to 0. That means minus Fi plus Fj is equal to 0. That means Fj is equal to minus times of Fi. Fj is equal to minus times of Fi. So if you remember in the last class, I have discussed till this much part. Yes or no? If anyone can respond, in the last class, I have discussed till this much portion. Can anyone respond?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes.
So let us move forward from this step. Now, since I know that Fj is equal to minus Fi, and I also know the equations of Fi and Fj, that is minus Fi is equal to E into A, Uy minus Uj by H,
Sir,
and
excuse me,
yes,
sir.
yes.
Sir, if you don't mind, can you please explain step one? Because last class I couldn't attend your class properly
See,
because I was
I
busy with.
cannot explain it again because it will take again half an hour time. What you can do is that you can, I think you might have joined the my Google Classroom. Have you joined the Google
Yes, sir.
Classroom?
Yes, sir.
In that Google Classroom, I have posted all the recorded lectures.
Okay, 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 sir.
You
Okay,
can go
okay,
through those lectures because
okay.
if I again explain all these steps, again it will take 20 minutes time. Fine.
All
So
right,
that's
sir. All
why
right.
I'm not explaining. Fine. After that, after the class today, you see those recorded lectures. If you face any difficulty, you can call me. I will schedule one meeting for you, and I will explain you. Fine.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay, okay, fine. So, yes, minus Fi is E into A, Ui minus Uj by H, and Fj is E into A, Uj minus Ui by H. Now, I told you in the last class that in FEM, since due to complexity of the geometry, I solve the entire geometry in terms of matrix equations. So at present, I am having two equations, one equation of Fi and another equation of Fj. Let us convert these two equations into matrix form. Let us convert. So I can see from these two equations that E into A divided by H, I can take it out common. Let us take it out, E into A by H, then matrix. It will be a 2 cross 2 matrix. 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 into ui uj, which is equal to minus fi fj. Now let us check whether this matrix is correct or not. How I can check? If I multiply, if I use the concept of multiplication of matrix, I should get minus fi equal to e into a, ui minus uj by h. Also, I should get fj is equal to e into a, uj minus ui by h. Let us multiply. 1 into multiplication of matrix is done in which manner? Row, first row into first column. Likewise, we have to do. Fine. That means 1 into ui is ui, this ui minus uj in bracket a by h is common, a by h is common, which is equal to minus fi. That means the first equation is satisfied if I consider the first row and first column. Similarly, if I multiply the second row of the first matrix with the first column of the second matrix, that means minus 1 into ui, it is nothing but minus 1 plus 1 into uj, that is uj. Again ea by h is common, which is equal to fj. Again the second equation is also satisfied. That means the matrix form of these two equations which I have written in equation number 7 is correct. Any doubt so far till equation number 7? हेलो, कोई डाउट है किसी को इक्वेशन नंबर 7 तक?
No, sir.
क्लियर है? ओके, बाकी लोग भी रिस्पॉन्ड करो.
Ah, sir, clear.
Okay, fine. Now what I am doing is that I am writing this part. Which part? EA by H matrix 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 by a term called KE. By a term called KE, and this KE in FEM is known as elemental stiffness matrix. This KE, that is EA by H, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. This is known as your elemental stiffness matrix. For that means if I am solving this problem, in this problem my total number of element is 3, so I have to frame 3 elemental stiffness matrix if I want to solve this problem. If in some other problem total element is 5, you have to form 5 different elemental stiffness matrix. Is it understood? Clear hai? Hello.
हाँ सर
Okay. And what is this h? This h is nothing but the height of the element. Sorry, the length of the element. As I can see that this element is the geometry is asymmetric in nature. That means h is nothing but L by 3. Overall length is L. I have divided my entire geometry into 3 elements. So each element will be of length L by 3. L by 3 plus L by 3 plus L by 3 is equal to L. That means each element of length h is nothing but equal to L by 3. That we will substitute in the last part. Fine. Or else it will be a complicated one if we substitute the value of h now. So this Ke is called elemental stiffness matrix. Again, this vector term, which vector term? This column matrix, Ui, Uj. I am representing it by Ue. And what is this Ue? Ue is nothing but elemental displacement variable or primary variable vector. This Ue, which is nothing but column matrix Ui, Uj. That means 2 cross 1 matrix. This is known as elemental displacement vector or primary variable vector. Why I am calling this U as vector? Because U is what? If I see this question, U is nothing but the axial displacement of each element at each node. That means from point 1, at nodal point 1, displacement of element number 1 will be u1 along plus x direction. For element number 2, so for element number 1, displacement of node 2 is u2 along positive x direction, and so on. So here I am representing it by ue. Ue means u of element. That element can be first element, second element, or third element. And why it is I am calling it as vector? Because this is displacement. Displacement is having some magnitude as well as it is having some direction. In this question, all the displacement is happening along plus x direction. Is it clear? The second term UE, that is elemental displacement vector. Any doubt in this? कोई doubt है किसी
नहीं सर
को?
ठीक है
And the last term, that is this again 2 cross 1 matrix, that is minus Fi Fj. I am denoting this matrix by the symbol Fe. And what it is called in FEM? It is called as elemental load vector. Because in FEM, whatever analysis we do it element by element. So whatever thing we will write firstly for element, for each and every element, and in the last step we will assemble all those equations to get one common matrix. Fine. And this Fe is nothing but elemental force vector. That means in each and every element, how much force is acting at each and every node. For example, if I take my given problem, in the given problem, it is clear that only in element number 3, external load is acting. That too, that load is acting at nodal point 4 along positive x direction. And if you draw the free body diagram of this entire of each and every element individually, this will be the free body diagram, right hand side of the diagram. And in that free body diagram, each element will experience internal force at each and every node due to this overall force P or overall load P. So that is your elemental load vector. Again, force is also a vector quantity because it is having magnitude and direction. So I am writing it as elemental load vector. That means I can transform equation 7 as Ke, because this term Ea by H, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 is known as elemental displacement vector. KE into this UI UJ. I am writing it as UE, elemental displacement vector or primary variable vector, and this 2 cross 1 matrix minus Fi Fj, I am writing it as Fe, that is elemental load vector. Equation number 8. Any doubt? कोई डाउट है किसी को?
No.
ओके, बाकी लोग भी रेस्पॉन्ड करो. कोई डाउट है किसी को अभी तक? हेलो.
No, sir. No, sir.
ओके ओके ओके. वेट. फाइन. Okay, next step. Now what is my aim? My aim is to write this equation. This equation, that is equation number 8 for each and every element. For each and every element. In my question, there are total 3 elements. So I have to write this equation. This equation number 8 for element number 1 separately, for element number 2 separately, for element number 3 separately, and then in the next step we will assemble all those elemental equations. Fine. Now if you see this expression, which expression? This equation number 8, K into U is equal to F. It is nothing but of the form Kx equal to F. That means if you are having a spring, wait, that means yes, that means if you are having a spring, say this is a spring arrangement system, fine, and if you apply force F at the free end of the spring, then the spring will come back to its original position by a force called restoring force, and that restoring force is given by F is equal to minus Kx. Why I am taking minus? Because it is coming back to its original position. That means it is coming back to its negative direction. Fine. So if you relate this expression, this equation with, if you relate this equation with equation number 8, can you say that both the things are similar? Both the equations are almost same? Hello? This equation and this equation number 8 is almost same. Only difference is that in the given problem which we are solving, there are more number of elements, and the formula which I have written for this problem, there is only one single element. That means this is only one element, and here is one node, and this is only one node. Can you say that these two equations are almost same? Hello?
Yes.
It is almost same, equation number 8 and equation number 9. Now what is my aim? My aim is to calculate this ui and uj for each and every element. That means in altogether there will be, at node number 1 displacement is u1 along positive x direction, for node number 2 displacement is u2, for node number 3 displacement is u3, for node number 4 displacement is u4. That means I have to find out u1, u2 and u2, u3 and u4 in
Sir,
this
but
problem.
one will not
Yes?
have any displacement.
Sorry?
Node 1 won't have any
Yes,
displacement.
node 1 is not having any displacement. That means the value of node 1 is 0. But still displacement is there. When you initially pull, you apply this load P, your body will try to move in the positive x direction. But since the left end is fixed, body will come back to its original position. And with this effect, but there is, since element 1 is there and each and every element is comprised of 2 nodes, so I have to say that node 1 will not be displacing. That means what? That means value of u1 is 0. That means I have to find out how much is u2, how much is u3 and how much is u4. This you can only find out if this u1, u2, u3, u4, you can only find out if fi and fj is known to you. Yes or no? भाई दो इक्वेशन है, दो इक्वेशन दो अननोन, तो अभी देखो चार अननोन है, आपको एफ आई भी पता नहीं है, एफ जे भी पता नहीं है, यू आई भी पता नहीं है, यू जे भी पता नहीं है। क्यों? क्योंकि आई और जे जो है ये डिपेंड करेगा कौन सा एलिमेंट ले रहे हो, उस पर्टिकुलर एलिमेंट का आई एथ नोड एंड जे एथ नोड। फाइन। अगर मैं बात करूं एलिमेंट 2 की, तो एलिमेंट 2 पे तो U2 और U3 होगा, UI हो जाएगा U2, UJ हो जाएगा U3, दोनों ही मुझे पता नहीं है, आई हैव टू फाइंड आउट। एंड फॉर एलिमेंट 2, for element 2 fi will be what? Fi will be, say if I talk for element 2, now this is your node 2 will be I and node 3 will be J. Do you know what is the value of Fi and Fj, these internal force? I don't know. From the only what I know is that at nodal point force, at node point 4 for element number 3, F4 is P. So if I randomly take any one element, it is very difficult to use equation number 8 because I don't know how much is Fi and how much is Fj. So we cannot solve the problem. In order to make this problem solve, what I will do is that it is written Fi and Fj are internal forces which are unknown to me. I cannot find out. And also this matrix, which matrix? Ea by H, 1, minus 1, minus 1, 1. This is a singular matrix. This is a singular matrix. By singular matrix, what I know is that for a single matrix to be singular, mod of that matrix is equal to 0. That means I cannot find out the inverse, because if I need to get the value of ui and uj, I have to multiply this matrix. Which matrix? Minus fi fj with the inverse of this matrix. Ea by h, 1, minus 1, minus 1, 1. But at present in equation number 7, this matrix Ea by h, 1, minus 1, minus 1, 1 is singular matrix for which inverse is not defined. I cannot solve this equation number 7. If you want to solve this equation number 7, what you have to do in order to overcome these situations, you have to describe, or you have to compute the boundary conditions. What are the given boundary conditions in the given problem? And you have to assemble. You need to assemble each and every element. You need to assemble each and every element. For that process, that means, see, it is written over here. In order to overcome the first difficulty, that means when Fi and Fj is unknown to you, to get the rate of internal forces, elemental stiffness matrices are assembled. That means this matrix Ea by h, 1, minus 1, minus 1, 1. You have to write individually for each and every element, and at last you have to assemble it. Then this is one way by which you can solve this equation number 7. What is the second way? Second way is the second difficulty. That means this difficulty when the matrix is singular. Yes. Hello.
Sir, what do you mean by assembling the equation?
I could not got you. Please.
Sir, I said that what do you mean by assembling the equations?
Assembling means. Okay, fine. Wait. Can you see this problem? In this problem is what? This problem, if you want to solve it by FEM, first you will find out the area of this triangle, small triangle. Then you will find out the area of this small circle. Then you will find out the area of this entire rectangle. After that, you will find out the area of this semicircle individually. This is what? When we are doing it individually means we are writing the elemental stiffness equation, elemental area you are finding out. And assembling means at last you have to find the entire area of this figure using FEM. Now from this figure, from this diagram, it is very much clear to me that this circular area I have to remove. So how you will assemble? This area 1 plus area 2. Area 2 means the complete rectangle, plus area 3, that is the semicircle, minus area 4. I don't need. Assembling means either addition or subtraction of each and every individual element to get one complete, one single equation, one single matrix for the entire problem. In this question, this area A4 you have to subtract, but in our question, whatever we are solving right now, should we subtract any of the element in assembling?
No, we need to add.
Yes, we need to add. So we have to write the elemental stiffness equation for first element, then for second element, then for third element. At last, we have to add all the three elemental equation in matrix form. Then from that single matrix, by applying boundary conditions, we can calculate the value of U2, U3 and U4 easily. This is your assembling part. It will be clear to you when I will explain that assembling part, how we are doing it. So far it is clear to all of you till this
Yes.
step. That means why we at present I cannot solve this equation number 7 because this matrix is singular. Fine. In order to solve this equation, I need to get the inverse of this matrix. So in order to get the inverse of this matrix, I am doing this assembling part. Is the step clear so far?
Yes, sir.
बाकी लोगों को कोई
तो
डाउट
और
है?
एक बार बोल दीजिए।
कहाँ से बोलूं, कहाँ से बोलूं?
तो FI और FJ वाला थोड़ा समझा दीजिए।
FI और FJ इक्वेशन नंबर 7 को देखो। इक्वेशन नंबर 7 किसके लिए वैलिड है? इक्वेशन नंबर 7 इज वैलिड फॉर एनी एलिमेंट इन इनसाइड योर ज्योमेट्री। वो एलिमेंट नंबर 1 भी हो सकता है, 2 भी हो सकता है, 3 भी हो सकता है। मान लो मैं एलिमेंट नंबर 2 की बात कर रहा हूं। फॉर एलिमेंट नंबर 2 I is your 2 and J is your 3। क्लियर है? I हो जाएगा 2, J हो जाएगा 3। सिमिलरली एट नोड 3 फोर्स विल बी F2 F3 एंड एट नोड I फोर्स विल बी माइनस F2। तो क्या माइनस F2 और प्लस F3 पता है आपको क्वेश्चन देख के? ये आपका क्वेश्चन, क्या क्वेश्चन में कहीं पे लिखा हुआ है कि माइनस F2 इज सो मच न्यूटन प्लस F3 इज सो मच न्यूटन? It is not known to me. Fine. If it is not known to me, I cannot solve this equation because ui uj is already unknown. That means for element number 2, ui will be displacement u2 along positive x direction, and display for element number 2 at node 3 displacement nodal point j will be u3. That is also unknown. That means 2 equation, 4 unknown. You cannot solve the problem. Never you can solve the problem. Fine. And also this matrix, that is EA by H 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. This is a singular matrix. And I know in mathematics that for a singular matrix mod is not defined, mod is 0. That means inverse is not defined. Because when you will find out the value of ui and uj, you have to take the inverse of this matrix. If it is a singular matrix, rank is equal to 1, then it is not defined. Then how you will find out the inverse? You cannot find out the inverse. In order to overcome this difficulty, what I am doing, I am assembling the entire problem. That means I am writing equation number 7 for each and every element, and then lastly I will assemble the elements by using some proper boundary conditions. Then only you can solve this equation number 7, or else you cannot solve. क्या क्लियर है यहाँ तक? अब क्लियर
हाँ
हुआ?
सर, अभी क्लियर है।
Let us assemble. So next step is assembling procedure. I am taking element number 1. For element number 1, node is I, value of I is 1, value of j is 2. That means, and what are these F1 F2? F1 F2 are internal forces acting in the element due to force P. When you have drawn the free body diagram. Fine. Now for this element, if I write equation number 7, how I will write? EA by H 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Now for element number 1, I is U1 and Uj is U2. Fi is F1 minus F1, sorry, it is in negative x direction, and Fj is F2. See, I have written EA by H 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, U1 U2 minus F1 F2. Why minus F1? Because minus F1 is acting along negative x direction. That is equation number 10. Is it clear? कैसे मैंने लिखा equation? कोई doubt?
हाँ सर, क्लियर है।
Okay. Let us assemble. So next step is assembling procedure. I am taking element number 1. For element number 1, node is I, value of I is 1, value of j is 2. That means, and what are these F1 F2? F1 F2 are internal forces acting in the element due to force P. When you have drawn the free body diagram. Fine. Now for this element, if I write कोई डाउट है किसी को?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Now for simplicity, because at last see you are having total 3 element. Fine. So when you will assemble all these 3 elemental equations, you will get a big matrix, 4 by 4 cross matrix. In order to solve that matrix very easily, what I am doing is that let us write the numbering. Give the node numbering. See, element number 1 is starting, means I am moving element 1 from node number 1 to node number 2. So this will be my one. First row will be 1, second row will be 2. Similarly, if you go in column, first column will be 1, second column will be 2. So I have written 1 2 1 2. Clear? Now for element number 2, again for element number 2, my I will be 2, my j will be 3. Nodal point 3, the force acting at 3 is what? Fj. So it will be plus F3. Force acting at nodal point 2, which is I, is nothing but minus F2. So again, if I want to write my equation number 7 for this element 2, how I will write? EA by H, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 UI. Can you say what will be UI for element number 2? UI will be U2 and uj, that means this is my j will be u3, which is equal to minus fi. Why minus? It is in negative x direction, that means minus f2 and plus fj, because f3 is in positive x direction, so f3, which is equation number 11. And again for simplicity, write the numbers. If you see element number 2, it is moving from node 2 towards node 3. So the first row will be 2, second row will be 3. Similarly, first column I will write 2 and second column let us write 3. आया समझ में? कोई डाउट? एलिमेंट नंबर 1, एलिमेंट नंबर 2 मैंने कैसे लिखा? एलिमेंटल इक्वेशन, और ये जो मैंने लिखा है फॉर एलिमेंट नंबर 1 जो मैंने बाहर एनसर्कल किया है 1 2, और सेकंड एलिमेंट के लिए जो मैंने बाहर एनसर्कल किया है 2 3, कैसे लिखा? आया समझ में?
यस सर।
ये मैं क्यों कर रहा हूँ? ये जो बाहर मैं रेड पेन से जो मैंने मार्क किया है 1 2 2 3, ये मैं इसीलिए कर रहा हूँ कि जब मैं असेंबल करूंगा तीनों एलिमेंट को एक साथ नेक्स्ट स्टेप में, तो कहीं कहीं पे कुछ चीजें प्लस होंगी, कहीं कहीं पे कुछ चीजें नेगेटिव होंगी। तो जैसे मान लो मुझे मिला फर्स्ट रो एंड थर्ड कॉलम, तो देखो फर्स्ट रो मान लो मुझे मिला, सॉरी सेकंड रो एंड सेकंड कॉलम, तो देखो सेकंड रो एंड सेकंड कॉलम इक्वेशन नंबर 10 में है, उसका वैल्यू है 1। सिमिलरली सेकंड रो एंड सेकंड कॉलम एलिमेंट नंबर 2 में है, उसका वैल्यू है 1, तो ये 1 + 1 2 हो जाएगा जब मैं असेंबल करूंगा। इसीलिए मैंने सिंपलिसिटी के लिए मैंने बाहर यहाँ पे ऐसे एनसर्कल किया है 1 2 1 2 2 3 2 3। अगर आप भी ऐसे करोगे तो आपको इजी हो जाएगा, क्योंकि हो सकता है आगे जाके आपको 10 एलिमेंट का सॉल्व करना पड़े। तो अगर आप ऐसे नहीं लिखोगे तो आगे जाके जब असेंबलिंग में प्लस माइनस में प्रॉब्लम होगी, कौन सा चीज प्लस होगा कौन सा चीज माइनस होगा। फाइन। Now let us write that same elemental equation for element number 3. For element number 3, node 3 will be ith node, node j will be jth node. So displacement at node 3 is u3, displacement at node 4 is u4. At node 3, force will be along negative x direction. So see, here I have written -3. For node 4, force acting in this node is along positive x direction, so I have written F4. So the equation becomes EA by H, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 U3 U4, which is equal to minus F3 F4. Now for this element, how I will encircle? For that I have to see the figure. In this figure, element number 3 is moving from node 3 to node 4. So the first row will be 3, second row will be 4. Similarly, if I come in column, first column will be 3, second column will be 4. That is equation number 10, 11 and 12. Is this step is clear? Equation number 10, 11 and 12?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Here what I have done, I have written individually elemental stiffness equation for each and every element. Clear? Okay, let us move forward. Now what I am doing is that I am assembling it. Now I am assembling each and every elemental stiffness equation. So if you will assemble it, definitely from equation number 10, 11 and 12, you can see that the assembled equation will consist of 4 cross 4 matrix. Yes or no? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
जब आप
Yes,
इसको
yes.
असेंबल करोगे, इन तीनों एलिमेंट को जब आप असेंबल करोगे, आपको दिखाई दे रहा है कि ये 4x4 का मैट्रिक्स बनेगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पे 1 2 3 4 टोटल 4 रो है और 4 कॉलम है. फाइन. So let us write down now. Let us write down the global. See, this is known as local stiffness matrix equation. Local means for each and every element if you are writing. Global means for element number 1, if you are writing the same equation number 10, considering all the nodal points, that means considering all the rows and all the columns of the matrix, that will be the global system of equation for element number 1. Let us write. Okay, that means while assembling total 4 rows and 4 columns will be there. Let us write first. First column, second column, third column, fourth column, first row, second row, third row, fourth row. And already from equation number 10, 11 and 12, it is clear that EA by H is common. Take it outside. EA by H is common. Now, inside this big matrix, now you are writing only for element number 1 global equation. You can see that which cofactor you will take into account. You will take this first row, first column, first row, second column, second row, first column, second row, second column. So see, first row, first column, value is 1. I have written 1 over here. Then first row, second column, value is -1. I have written -1 over here. Second row, first column, value is -1. See, second row, first column, value is -1. And second row, second column, value is 1. Second row, second column, value is 1. Remaining all the elements, that means 1 3 1 4 2 3 2 4 4 4 4 3 3 4, it will be 0. Why 0? Because I am writing the global system of equation only for element number 1, and element number 1 consists of only the first and the second row and column of a matrix. So that remaining things will be 0 into now you have to write the displacement for each and every node. Fine. So for node number, this is what? This 1 is nothing for node number 1. Displacement is U1. For node number 2, displacement is U2. For node number 3, displacement is U3. For node number 4, displacement is U4, which is equal to force vector. Now, if you see this equation number 10, that means for this element number 1, only force is applied at the first node. That means along this, here you will write the force, and the second force is applied at node number 2. So this is my node number 2, so you will write F2, and for node number 1, since it is negative, you will write F1. Remaining two values are 0. Why 0? Because I am writing only the global system of equation for element number 1. So that this is your equation number 13. Global system of equation for element number 1. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
बाकी लोग को कोई डाउट है? हेलो.
No.
ओके फाइन. सेम थिंग.
सर हाँ.
हाँ बोलो.
U3 और U4 हम 0 क्यों नहीं लिख रहे हैं?
U3 और U4 आप 0 इसीलिए नहीं लिख रहे हो क्योंकि आप प्रॉब्लम को देखो, प्रॉब्लम में जब भी आप ये लोड अप्लाई कर रहे हो तो इसके वजह से चाहे आप एलिमेंट 1 लो या एलिमेंट 2 लो या एलिमेंट 3 हो, पूरा प्रॉब्लम में डिस्प्लेसमेंट हो रहा है. दैट मीन्स योर मेन मोटिव ऑफ दिस प्रॉब्लम इज टू फाइंड आउट डिस्प्लेसमेंट एट ईच एंड एवरी नोड एट फॉर ईच एंड एवरी एलिमेंट. सो दैट इज योर मेन वेरिएबल, दैट इज योर मेन फैक्टर. You cannot take it as zero. And why I am taking F3 and F4 zero? Because F3 and F4 are the internal forces. When you will draw the free body diagram of element 3, then you will get F3 F4. When you will draw the free body diagram of element 2, you will get F2 F3. So those things are zero over here because I am considering only element number 1. But if you take everything, entire thing into picture, your main factor is displacement. You have to find out displacement, so you cannot keep it zero.
Okay, thank you.
ठीक है, this is your equation number 13. Similarly, you have to write global system of equation for element number 2 and element number 3. I am writing it for element number 2, element number 3 later on you can see in my lecture. Fine. Okay. For element number 2, let us write. Now, if I want to write for element number 2, again I know that overall there will be a 4 cross 4 matrix. Let us write 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. And 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. And I know that EA by H will be common. EA by H is common. Now inside this big matrix, now you have to tell me which element I will take for element number 2 while writing the global system of equations. Which all values I will take? बोलो.
F2 F3
हाँ बोलो.
F2 F3 और
yes, I will take this second row, second column. I will take only second row, second column, second row, third column, that means this element, third row, second column, that means this element, third row, third column, that means this element. So wherever there will be 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, all those values I will replace it by 1, minus 1, minus 1, 1. Remaining all the values will be 0. Is it clear? ये देखो 2, 2, 2, 2 is 1. See? 2, 2 is 1. 2, 3, minus 1. So 2 and 3, see, minus 1. Next is 3, 2, minus 1. So this is my 3, this is my 2, minus 1. And 3, 3, 1. So 3, 3 is 1. Remaining everything will be 0 into U1, U2, U3, U4 equal to. Now in this case, for this case, you have to consider only force F2, that will be minus F2 at node 2. That means your second row is nothing but node 2. So here you have written minus F2, and your third node you have to write plus F3 because this force is in positive x direction, and you know that in this entire equation the third row represent your node 3. So here you have written F3. See here we don't have F1 and F2. So F1 is 0 and F4 is 0. So this is equation number 14, global system of equation for element number 2. Is it clear? आया समझ में equation number 14?
yes sir.
हाँ सर.
बाकी लोगों को डाउट है किसी को कोई? Okay. Likewise, I am not writing for element number 3. You can solve it. Fine. Likewise, again you have to write the global system of equation for element number 3. That is nothing but equation number 15. Fine. Now what I am doing? Now I am assembling equation number 13, equation number 14 and equation number 15. But let me tell you, in this question, assembling will be positive throughout the problem. But the same, but that area question, whatever I have shown you just 5 minutes back, in that question, only that circular part will be negative. Why? Because in the question it has been told that you have to remove that circular part. So keep in mind, before assembling, check the geometry of the problem. what the problem is telling you. Accordingly, you have to decide whether you have to add all the elements or you have to subtract any one or any two of the elements. Fine. So let us add. If you add equation 13, 14 and 15, again it will be a 4 cross 4 matrix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 columns and 4 rows. That means 1, 1, 1, 1 of equation number 13 plus 1, 1. That means this element of equation number 14 plus 1, 1. That is 0. This element of equation number 14, you have to write it over here. That is 1 plus 0 plus 0. See, 1, 1 is 1 plus 1, 1 is 0 plus 1, 1 is 0. That is 1 plus 0 plus 0. Let us write this expression, that is 2, 1. That means this element. So 2, 1. It is nothing but minus 1 from equation number 13. 2, 1 is nothing but 0 from equation number 14 plus 2, 1 is nothing but 0 from equation number 15. That is minus 1 plus 0 plus 0. Likewise, you have to do it for each and every element, whether it is 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3 or 3, 4. Understood how I have written this, all the how I have added or subtracted these matrix? कोई डाउट है किसी को? ठीक है, okay. Into your displacement vector, which is nothing but u1, u2, u3, u4, which is equal to, now you have to add what? You have to add force. See, in for equation number 13, this first row is minus f1 plus, for equation number 14, first row is 0. So minus f1 plus 0. For equation number 15, first row is 0. That means minus f1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. See, minus f1. Similarly, for second row, plus f2 from equation number 13 minus f2 from equation number 14 plus 0. That means ultimately second value will be 0. Similarly, for third value, that is f3 from equation number 13, that means I have to see the third row. This is that element 0. For equation number 14, this is that element plus f3, 0 plus f3. For equation number 15, again that element minus f3. That means plus f3 minus f3 is 0. Overall thing is 0. Last one is f4. That means I have to see the fourth row of each and every equation. 0 plus 0 plus f4 plus f4. Fine. So my result, and ultimately this f4 is what? This f4 is nothing but p. This f4 is nothing but plus p. Fine. So my resulting equation becomes, I mean, after solving this matrix, my equation becomes EA by H, 4 cross 4 matrix, 1, minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1, 2, minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1, 2, minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1, 1 into column matrix U1, U2, U3, U4 equal to minus F1, 0, 0, F4. See, minus F1, 0, 0, F4. Equation number 16. This equation number 16 is known as global stiffness matrix equation for the entire geometry. Again, I am repeating, equation number 16 is known as global stiffness matrix equation for the entire geometry, after dividing the given geometry into some finite number of elements. Is it clear? Equation number 16? कोई डाउट है?
So this is the final equation.
अभी तक सॉल्व हुआ नहीं है. आपको F1 पता है? F1 पता नहीं है. आपको U2 पता है, U3 पता है, आप तो इक्वेशन लिख लोगे, 4 इक्वेशन लिख लोगे, लेकिन आपको तो पता ही नहीं है U2, U3, U4. F4 पता है, F4 is P, F1 आपको पता नहीं है, U2 पता नहीं है, U3 पता नहीं है, U4 पता नहीं है, आप नहीं कर पाओगे। फिलहाल ये यहाँ तक क्लियर है इक्वेशन नंबर 16 तक?
Yes, sir. Yes,
बाकी
sir.
लोगों को कोई डाउट इक्वेशन नंबर 16 तक? हेलो?
नहीं सर, नहीं सर.
Okay. Now, in order to solve equation number 16, I have to use some boundary conditions, because normally if I solve, I will not be able to solve. I will not be able to solve. Fine, because I don't know what is U2, what is U3, what is U4. I don't know what is F1. Fine, F2 is 0, F3 is 0. I don't know F4. I don't know. Fine. So in order to get some values of the nodal displacement, what I will do is that in the next step, I will apply some boundary conditions. I will apply some boundary conditions. Again, I will tell you there are two type of boundary conditions are given in any problem. One boundary condition is called force or natural boundary condition, and the second boundary condition is known as essential or geometric boundary condition. What is force or natural boundary condition? This is that boundary condition which is given in the problem. That means in my problem, it is very much visible to me that at node point 4, force applied is P. So this is my natural boundary condition. This is my natural or force boundary condition. That means that boundary condition which is directly given to you in the given problem. That means F4 is equal to P. This is my natural boundary condition. क्या ये क्लियर हुआ? क्या होता है नेचुरल बाउंड्री कंडीशन या फोर्स बाउंड्री कंडीशन? हेलो,
So repeat कीजिए.
रिपीट करता हूँ. In FEM, normally two type of boundary condition is there. One is called natural boundary condition and second one is called essential boundary condition. What is natural boundary condition? Natural boundary condition is that boundary condition which is given to you directly in the problem. That means in the given problem, it is given to me that at node point 4, load applied is plus P. This boundary condition is given to you in the problem. By looking at the diagram, you can clearly say that if you divide your given problem into 3 elements, node point 4, force will be plus P. This is your natural boundary condition, जो आपको पहले से पता होता है, क्वेश्चन में दिया होता है. आया समझ में आप?
Okay.
Next is your geometric or essential boundary condition. What is this essential boundary condition? This is that boundary condition without which you cannot proceed for any given problem. You cannot proceed with any given problem. And that essential boundary condition will not be given to you directly in the problem. It will be given to you in indirect manner. That means if you see the problem, if you see the given problem, in this problem, your essential boundary condition is that the U1 is 0. Why U1 is 0? Because left end of the beam is fixed. If I divide my given problem into 3 elements, then node 1 is fixed. If node 1 is fixed, that means U1 is 0. That means it is essential boundary condition, not given to you directly. You have to see the problem and then you have to decide that yes, at this point support is there. Support means this nodal point will not move due to application of this force P. And if I divide my given problem into 3 elements, then at node 1, U1 is 0. So U1 equal to 0 is my essential boundary condition for this problem. And at nodal point 4, full load applied is P. That is my natural boundary condition. आया समझ में?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So this you have to find out for each and every problem. Then and the problem will differ from diagram to diagram. Fine. Okay. So by using those two boundary conditions, in equation number 16, I can write U1 as 0. I can write F4 as P. Let us write U1 is equal to 0. F4 is equal to P. Fine. And this minus F1. this minus f1 will be 0. Why it will be 0? If you want to keep any element in equilibrium, you have to apply same and equal amount of force but in opposite direction. That means Fj, if element E is nothing but element 1, Fj will be equal to Fi but direction will be opposite. That means, and since node point I is always fixed, that means F1 there will be no force at the nodal point 1, so F1 is 0. Fine. So I am writing F1 as 0. So I am writing F1 as 0. Now if it is 0, your resulting equation becomes EA by H, this complete matrix, into U1 is already 0, U2 I have to find out, U3, U4 we need to find out, which is equal to force vector. F1 is 0, F2 is already 0, F3 is already 0, F4 is P. Now you are having 3 equations and 3 unknowns. You solve these 3 equations, you will get the value of 3 unknowns, U2, U3 and U4. Let us solve. From the first row, already U1 is 0. From the second row, if I multiply, that means this second row into this first column, which is equal to 0. Let us write minus 1 into 0 is 0, plus 2 into U2 is 2U2, minus U3 minus 1 into U3 is U3, plus 0 into U4 is 0, which is equal to 0. See, EA by H is common, 2U2 minus U3 is equal to 0, or U3 is equal to 2 times of U2. Similarly, if you see the third row, how you can write the equation? EA by H common, 0 into 0 is 0, minus 1 into U2 is minus U2, plus 2 into U3 is plus 2U3, minus 1 into U4 is minus U4, which is again equal to 0. Again from this expression you will get one equation, that is U2 is equal to U4 times U4 by U3. Similarly, if you use the last equation, that means 0 into 0, 0 plus 0 into U2, 0 minus 1 into U3, minus U3 plus 1 into U4 is U4. That means minus U3 plus U4 is equal to P. See, minus U3 plus U4 into A by H is equal to P. You are having equation number D. Now you solve A, B, C, D. 4 equations are there. Already you know one unknown. You solve equation B, C and D by substitution method, by elimination method. You will get the value of U2, U3 and U4. U2 is coming out to be PL by 3AE. U3 is 2 by 3 times of PL by AE. U4 is PL by AE. बाकी सिंपल है, बाकी आप कर सकते हो. आपको सब्स्टिट्यूट करना है, आपको एलिमिनेशन मेथड लगाना है, आपको सब्स्टिट्यूशन मेथड लगा के तीनों इक्वेशन को सॉल्व करना है. आपको U4, U3 और U2 मिल जाएगा. और इस कंडीशन में H क्या होगा? H हो जाएगा आपका L by 3. ये आपका रिक्वायर्ड आंसर है. U2, U3 and U4. This is the required displacement at each and every nodal point. क्या ये स्टेप क्लियर है?
Yes, sir.
फाइन. लास्ट स्टेप. अब ये तो बात हुआ कि हमने निकाला कि हर एक नोडल पॉइंट पे कितना डिस्प्लेसमेंट करेगा कोई भी पर्टिकुलर नोड. अब मान लो कि ये जो बीम है इसका कुछ E दिया हुआ है. E मींस मॉडुलस ऑफ इलास्टिसिटी. Then due to this load P, each and every element will undergo stress, will undergo strain. That also I need to find out. In order to find out stresses and strains in any particular element for any given geometry, that process is known as post processing step. उसको पोस्ट प्रोसेसिंग बोला जाता है. दैट मींस इन पोस्ट प्रोसेसिंग व्हाट वी डू, वी फाइंड आउट द मटेरियल प्रॉपर्टी. दैट मींस सिग्मा कितना होगा, स्ट्रेन कितना होगा, मॉडुलस ऑफ रिजिडिटी कितना है उसका, बल्क मॉडुलस कितना है, दैट वी फाइंड आउट. That is also very simple. How I can find out? Already I know that epsilon is equal to uj minus uy by h. If I write the value of strain for second element, for element number 2, ith node is 2, jth node is 3. So I can write in place of uj it will be u3, in place of I it will be 2. So u3 minus u2 divided by h. H is how much? H is L by 3. Solve this expression, you will get the value of strain in the second element. Similarly, if you want to find out the value of stress generated in the second element, that will be what? Stress for element number 2 is nothing but E. By Hooke's law, E into strain for element number 2. Strain for element number 2 already you have calculated, that is P by AE. EE cancel. So stress for element number 2 is P by A. Likewise, you can calculate stress and strain for element number 1 also, and for element number 3 also, and for more elements. If you want to get the most accurate answer, you have to divide your given problem into many elements. You can do like this. Is it clear?
Yes sir, clear.
क्या कोई डाउट है किसी को?
No, no.
ठीक है. So this is a brief idea of what we will be doing in FEM. हम कैसे FEM में काम करेंगे, मैंने आपको एक सिंपल एग्जांपल से आपको समझा दिया. ठीक है. इसके बारे में और हम डिटेल पढ़ेंगे सेकेंड मॉड्यूल में. हमने जो ये काम किया है, ये हम काम हमको करना पड़ेगा सेकेंड मॉड्यूल में और बहुत ज्यादा. फर्स्ट मॉड्यूल में, in first module we will be dealing with the differential equations. We will be dealing with the integral equations for a given problem. For example, if a beam is bending, it will follow some differential equation, it will follow some integral equations. How to solve those differential equations and integral equations by FEM, that we will be solving it in module number 2, and that we will be doing from the next class onwards. क्या ये समझ में आया आपकी क्लास? कोई डाउट है किसी को?
अच्छा सर, ये क्या न्यूमेरिकल्स करने के लिए ये सब मेथड्स वी आर गोइंग टू यूज?
Yes, numericals. See, FEM basically FEM में 20% theory है, 80% numericals है.
हाँ. तो एनी काइंड ऑफ कैलकुलेशन के लिए हम ये प्रोसेस मतलब यूज करेंगे?
एनी काइंड ऑफ नहीं, अभी हम लोग जो मॉड्यूल पढ़ रहे हैं मॉड्यूल नंबर 1, वहां पे नहीं आएगा, क्योंकि वहां पे वी विल बी टॉकिंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशंस, इंटीग्रल इक्वेशंस. व्हेन ये काम आएगा आपका मॉड्यूल नंबर 2 में, जब आपके पास कोई बीम का प्रॉब्लम दिया हुआ है, जब आपके पास कोई शाफ्ट का प्रॉब्लम दिया हुआ है, उसमें टॉर्क निकालना है 7th एलिमेंट पे. 7th एलिमेंट कितना टॉर्क होगा, तब हम ये प्रोसेस यूज करके निकालेंगे.
अच्छा,
यही सेम चीज मैंने आप लोगों को कराया था एनसिस में. ये सेम चीज एनसिस में होता है, लेकिन वहां पे तो बहुत इजी है. वहां पे सब चीज दिया हुआ है कि इस पे क्लिक करो ये हो जाएगा, उस पे क्लिक करो वो हो जाएगा. मैनुअली हम लोग चेक करते हैं सॉल्व.
ओके, ठीक है.
Okay, then that is it for today's lecture. You can do one thing. If you haven't given your attendance, please write your attendance in the chat box, and again we will meet in the next week. By today day end, I will post this lecture in the Google Classroom. If you haven't joined, please join the Google Classroom. Fine. And it is there in my YouTube channel also. These lectures will be there, so please subscribe my YouTube channel. तो आपको notifications मिल जाएगा कि कब ये lecture upload हुआ है. ठीक है? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for today's class. Again, we will meet in the next class. Thank you.